What the hell am I looking at? I mean, I look through these glasses and you can look up at it, you see a moon.
Yeah, you see like part of the sun over the moon.
No, it was
like
over with when you guys.
We got out here at 3:30.
We got a little late for that.
3:15.
Oh, it's over, buddy. It was over.
Well planned.
2:30 got a little dark.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Like it was like 6, 7 a.m. dark.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, that's all we wanted.
All right,
good day. Good day. So we kind of thought you were going to name a quarterback today, but
yeah, we might.
But not now.
Not today. Not right now. We got to go sit down. We got to talk about it. We got to talk with those guys. And then I'd say by tomorrow, we'll make sure we kind of have a good idea on how we're going to roll with this thing.
So you made a decision? You just
no. We're going to go up and talk about it now and bring the guys up and make sure that we sit down and kind of hash through some things and make sure that we're doing this thing the right way.
In your mind, is one guy ahead of the other, or is that something you?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that some guys get more reps than others, and guys missing a little bit. I mean, it hurts them a little bit. But you know what? I mean, it's part of the game. And we talked about it before I went to camp that we got to handle this thing the right way, however it comes out. Competitive as hell, and that's what we want you to be. And no matter what, which way it goes, that we're going to need both of you. And I mean that in a positive way, meaning we got to push each other, we got to help each other, we got to make sure each and every one of us are prepared. And we'll only be as strong as you guys are close. And I mean that. And that's not easy because someone is going to get the starting nod, and if the other guy has animosity towards that, I don't mean you have to be happy about it. I mean, you want to be the starter, you want to be the guy. But if you can't provide value to our team and make each other better, then you're doing nothing but hurting our program.
Ross had the abdominal strain last week. It's been a few days since.
Yeah, it hurts him a little bit.
It
hurts him a little bit because he missed a bunch of snaps, and so that puts him a little bit at a tougher, not an advantage, a disadvantage. But again, it's the overall. It's the whole picture, and it's what we think that in the long run is going to give us the opportunity to be successful as a team.
Was the groin, hip, whatever that was with Hayden?
Yeah, I mean, it hurt him for a little bit. He actually was able to come back on Monday.
Yeah, right.
And still practice pretty much. So he only missed a little bit. So he wasn't out as long as Hayden.
Yeah. You mean as long as Ross?
As Ross, I mean.
How long was Ross out?
He was still a little bit dinged up, so he's been out for 4 days.
He didn't practice. Wasn't in the scrimmage.
No, he didn't scrimmage. He didn't scrimmage on Saturday.
So we probably got an idea who you're going to name the starter.
Well, no, I mean, if you want to look into it and you want to try to assume, you can. But that's why we said we're going to take it as a whole picture. No disrespect to him. It's kind of like you'd said if you came and watched a spring game that Paisley's the starting kicker. I mean, he made 5 field goals. He made a 50-yard field goal. And, Gance was hurt, and he had to have an opportunity to come back and kick. So we don't want to just take it from him because he was the starter before. So
has it been closer than you thought it would be?
Yeah, it's been a lot closer than I thought. And the guys that were around and maybe saw even the first 3 practices. I thought Hayden did a lot better job, and Ross really picked it up, and he made it a hell of a competition, and those guys have battled.
How much have you looked at Austin P, if any, right now?
No, we have. I've watched him a bunch over the summer. I watched the first 3 games, a bunch just to make sure we're on the right path. The things that we're doing during camp will give us the opportunity, along with Navy. So, it was definitely in the game plan and how we prepared for each other. And sometimes we go against each other. We go 1s on 2s and ask the 2s to give us a little different look and some things that we'll see in the first few weeks. And we do the same thing for the offense. We go one offense on 2 defense, and hey, we ask you to play, similar to what you guys are doing, but give us a little bit more of this so that we can see the things we can see.
You've seen that 1-loss record the last few years.
Yeah. You see our win-loss record the last 2 years, so we don't take anything for granted, and we feel like we're a lot better than what we have been, and so I would imagine they feel like they're a lot better than what they have been. And really, what I look at is how they played to start the year last year. If you look at the beginning of the Kentucky game, it was a battle, until late in the second half. So that's what I want to make sure our guys focus on, understand, and we don't take anything for granted.
You've been practicing in the morning, and it's been unseasonably cooler weather. Was it good to get a day like this today where it was nice and steamy?
Had a couple guys that cramped up a little bit, and No, I don't. I think it's a reality check for some of them. That, I think it's as much as a little bit of a day off and changing the atmosphere and the routine of what you do. That, I'm glad that school's starting now, and we've got a week until they'll have a week under their belt of school before we really start a game week. Because that's always, I wouldn't give them an excuse, but that's always one of those first day that school begins. It's notoriously been one that you don't always feel the best about when you come off the field.
What do you feel like, in case there's a game that's in these conditions, that it's good to get out here and go through that?
There's no doubt. I mean, you got to play in this. And that's why I really believe that training in the bubble and some of the stuff we did over the summer is great for us. So I think those kind of things add up. But we haven't had a bunch of it. Now, I'm just not saying because we didn't practice in the afternoon, but we haven't had a whole bunch of hot days this summer.
What history did you have with Mike Denbrock before you hired him as OC?
None really, other than mutual friends. Played against him a couple times, and that's where the respect really came from. And then had the opportunity to visit with him after we played them in the Fiesta Bowl, because they had studied us for 30 days and we'd studied them for 30 days, and really wanted to kind of get with somebody to say, hey, what do you have on us, and talk about what you had, we had on you, and then you kind of get a feel for a guy and his personality and how they prepare, and do they really know as much as what you think? Because when it's your defense or your offense, you know what your weaknesses are and you know what things that you're trying to mask, and when you talk to somebody that figures them out too, they're good at what they do.
What have you thought of his coaching style so far?
Well, it's been great. I mean, I want our guys to push our guys. If you're out here, you see how we create an atmosphere that it is intense, and I mean that in a sense that I tell the guys it's intentional. On game day, we're not going to be, in your face, and that's not what I want, because the pressure becomes from the 40-some thousand people and the 2 million people that are watching on TV. The pressure is your families and everybody watching and counting on you. So we got to create that atmosphere and practice as much as we can to make guys be able to handle that kind of stuff. And then when it gets game time, it's their time. And it's all about picking them up and being positive and making sure that they're doing the things they need to do. And it's a different mentality.
Marquise Smith is a guy that's moved up the depth chart pretty consistently at corner. Where is he at in terms of being a guy that you can count on kind of behind those main couple guys?
He's going to be right in the mix. He's in that 4 and 5 range at corner, but he's the culture of what we preach. Number one thing of our program is effort and attitude. And if you could pop on and press play anytime. You could press play during special teams. You could press play during defense, and you can see that guy believes in what it is we're talking about. He goes hard every single day in everything he does, and that's what's going to give us an opportunity to be very successful.
We're good.
Thank you.
Thanks.